Hey everyone, it's Skylar. Welcome back to my channel, and indeed it's the first day of 31 days of November, movie challenge month. As you guys know, myself and Laurie Holt are doing a series of films to review from the 1970s. So you'll see Laurie's video later. She's in the middle of watching it now, so by the time this comes up, hopefully she'll be uploading hers. So that's good. We've both decided for our first day to choose a film from 1970, but I'm going 70, 71, 72, 73 and so on, and then do the other ones afterwards. So the movie I've picked is of course a movie starring the one and only Charles Bronson, so I wanted to start off with a bang, and I've chosen a movie called Cold Sweat. Obviously it stars Charles Bronson, Paul Boniface, Liv Ullmann, Nathalie Vallaro, Remo Mosconi, James Mason, Yannick Deleu, Jill Ireland, Luigi Pistilli, Bob Indrano, Jean Topart, Michel Constantine, Sabine Sun, Roger Millers, Dominic Crossland. Directed by Terence Young, produced by Robert Doffman and Maurice Jacquin. Written by Dorothea Bennett and Joe Eisinger and Simon Wynne Selberg. Music by Michel Magnet and cinematography by Jean Rabier. I'm sorry if I get these pronunciations of actors, actresses, producers, whatever wrong. I'm just, because I haven't done this in a little bit, so bear with me in a few weeks. So yeah, basically Charles Bronson's character is called Joe. He was in the Korean War and he was a sergeant in the US Army, and obviously he was a bit of a naughty boy. He got convicted for assaulting a colonel and was imprisoned in Germany. While in the military prison, he was talking to his former commander by the name of Captain Ross and another soldier by the name of Joe Vermont, and was in jail for the black marketing and taking army vehicles. So Joe ends up, this is like the backstory to what happens. Joe ends up agreeing to escape with them, like it's Joe's past basically. He ends up agreeing to escape with them, and it was organised by Katanga, who was a former legionnaire. Things go well until Katanga kills a German officer. Terrified and disgusted by the murder, Joe escapes to France. But obviously his friends aren't so lucky, they get captured and they're in the military prison. Then Joe's settled down, he has a wife and a stepdaughter. So years later in France, Joe, who is now known as Joe Martin, gets a job renting boats in the south of France. Obviously I mentioned he has a wife, Fabienne, and his 12-year daughter, Michelle. Things go well until a picture of Joe is in a local news story with he helps somebody stop them from drowning, and what happens is Ross, Vermont and Catania, they find out about this newspaper, and one night after Joe has done with like his work, he plays poker, he gets some money, he goes home to his wife. They appear out of nowhere, this Ross, Vermont, Catania, and they're now wanted drug smugglers, and they want revenge on poor Joe. So that night, they go to Joe's house, they find out where he is, they kidnap him and his wife, and then they take Joe's boat out and use Joe's boat firm and boat to move drugs. To ensure Joe's cooperation, they decide to kidnap Joe's wife and daughter and take them to a small house in the middle of nowhere, because things go awry with the boat. I know, sorry, spoilers, but I have to do this to get you into the story. Yeah, where Ross finds Moira, his girlfriend, trapped in a cupboard, because what happens is one of the colleagues goes to the airport, picks up Moira, but Joe finds out. Joe actually goes to the airport and gets Moira, and he locks her up and obviously traps her in the cupboard. Then Ross gets shot, so Joe goes and gets a doctor, but it's too late to save Ross. So Joe's wife and daughter Michelle, they try to escape the small house and finds Joe. Joe gets them to the roads and then carries them to the roads, and one of the gang members says stop there, tries to take them back hostage. But meanwhile, Moira takes the doctor to Ross, but Ross has unfortunately passed away. Then Joe and his family are being led to the boat and is taken on board to the boat they went to. This morning, Joe's wife distracts one of the gunmen so that Joe gets the gun and shoots him off the boat. Then Joe and his family walk around. Yeah. Basically, Joe ends up shooting this guy and he's off the boat, and then the family, Joe, Michelle, Fabiana, Michelle, they come back on land and they're walking around, and the wife doesn't want anything being said, but he went, I've got to tell the police officer what's happened, sort of thing. So he goes to the police officer and said, I've got something I need to tell you. And the police officer said, look, I don't want to hear your nonsense. I want to find out who this car belongs to, because he was an absolute maniac. It's saying words. I'm going to give him 6 months, whoever it is. So he starts laughing. And Joe, he started laughing and he says, 6 months! And, turned around, walked away. And then, at the end of the film, basically the wife and the daughter say, look, we're hungry, can we get something to eat? And then they walk away. Because it was a festival in France when they're right at the end of the film, so... Yeah, sorry that was kind of short and sweet, but I've seen the film before, so I crammed what I remembered and then rewatched it again and crammed what I remembered from the film. So, yes, my thoughts on Cold Sweat. To be honest, it's not one of Charles Bronson's best films, but I do like it. I do like the concept behind it, how Joe was there was a backstory to it, that Joe was in the military and he was in military prison and he had to run away and these crooks come and find him. Got a great story to it. I enjoyed the story, but the only thing is it's not one of my favourites, and it's alright in places, but if you are a Charles Bronson fan, then this is a film to see after the Death Wish films, because you probably might associate him with the Death Wish films, but this is a film it's got similar aspects to Death Wish, but in another way, it's a completely different film because it has a totally different backstory to Death Wish. So anyway, what do I rate this film? I'd give it an 8 out of 10. only because it's not the best and it's not the worst. It was enjoyable to watch because I've seen it before, and it's one of them films where I've rewatched it and I've enjoyed it the second time round. So, yep, that's enough for day 1 of 31 days of 70s movie challenge, November challenge month, however you want to call it. Tomorrow's review is going to be a movie from 1971. Now, I have an idea for the film that I really want to review, but the only problem is it's I think it's about 2.5 hours long, the film. So it would be a very long review. But if I find something that's a little bit less, because I don't want to like do like loads and loads of films that's like 3 hours, 4 hours long. So I want to like do a couple of them, like save them sort of films for after I go through the years, because I've got to do one that's under an hour 30 and one that's over 2 hours, so I might save them for that. But other than that, I hope you'd enjoyed this first part of 31 days, the first day. And go over to Laurie Holt's channel, because she's got a very, very, very special review to start off, and this is her first time, so don't like criticise her because she's never ever really reviewed before. And even though she's going out of her comfort zone, I think she's going to be doing really well with this. So I'm glad she's doing it with me and not doing it on my own, because usually I do these on my own. So yep. I hope you enjoyed this, and stay gory, have unpleasant dreams, and I will see you for tomorrow's review, which is from 1971. So stay gory, have unpleasant dreams, and I'll see you soon. Ta-ta for now. Bye.